accounts opening. Now, in such case, so non-executive has to work until 9 o'clock in the branch. In such scenarios, paying overtime to them is once it motivates them. Otherwise, they demotivate. Every day they have to work until 9 or such time. So normally executive get out of pocket allowances. It is lower than the overtime. So it is the positive thing is the negative thing is the executive can be demotivated, and according to the workload, maybe sometimes in some cases non-executives get reasonable payment for that.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to hierarchical, so in the bank, I take, in this case, we take only the executive levels. So there are levels, junior executive, assistant managers and managers, and senior managers. Normally, it doesn't have very little gap between the paid salaries. So then after that, chief manager, assistant general manager, deputy general manager, the gap is very high. So in that case, normally that executives under the senior manager, they demotivated because they didn't get any allowances. Now that hierarchical, in the higher hierarchical people get vehicles, fuel allowance, and all the things. So on the other hand, well paying for the higher hierarchical people, it is good for retain them in the job. You know that nowadays people are absconding. They are going to going abroad. So to prevent that, it would be help to that paying such salary and allowances to them. That is the first event.
Excellent. Very analytical analysis of the question. Well done, Group A. I think that you are spot on, and that is perfectly acceptable. Right. Okay. Good.
So adding to the colonel's one, I am also from group number 1.
Go ahead.
He missed 1 point in egalitarian in non-executive category. There are negative impact. I'm saying that there are cadres who have qualified, knowledgeable experiences. They are, but when it's come to pay, they are been given with the equal same level. So there's a negative impact also. And from the company perspective, they are going to offer a loan to follow courses, right? And then I mean, it is an advantage from their perspective. Those who wish to follow, gain knowledge, sir. That is one thing. That's
okay. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Group A. Right. So we'll go to Group 3, who will also talk about the egalitarian and the hierarchical. So someone from Group 3 can share your discussion points in maybe 2 minutes. Just only the main points, because we are running short of time. Group 3, Room 3.
Hello, sir. I'm representing the Group 3. We also talk about the same industry, that means banking industry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
As per our discussion, we thought that in the banking industry, it is more commonly practiced hierarchical structure because...
So just to understand, you are talking about a state bank or a private bank?
State bank.
State. Okay. Right. State bank. Fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, because with the structure in the banking, government bank, it is more concerned about the hierarchical structure. It is well well explained, and it is well maintained in the bank. So with that, we consider what are the advantages from the hierarchical structure in the banking, government bank especially, as it is merit based. With the higher position, they take higher risk, and higher stress. They are the main strategic planner. It is okay to give higher salary and higher benefit. As earlier group said, it is practiced in the bank in terms of salary and other other benefits. For example, another advantages is talent attraction. In the banking industry, we absorb new employees in the grade of normally management trainees and the staff assistants. In practically, the training allowances, there is a huge gap between the management trainees and the staff assistant trainees.
So just to get a clarification, now the management trainee would be the start point for executives, and the staff assistant would be the entry point for non-executive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So with that, there is a huge gap, and in other terms, the allowances like OP, OT, there is also gap, and medical expenses, reimbursement of medical expenses, there is a gap between two grades. So with that,
so basically, you're pointing that as an advantage for talent acquisition.
Yes.
Then
it is advantage. Another point is performance motivation, because with the particular grade, the performance will be based on this factor. So higher level, when we consider the higher grades, they get higher benefits, so their performance is more motivated.
Okay, so quickly, any disadvantages you see?
Because at that practical scenario, at the lower levels, non-executives, they think they work more, and because at the basic level, that like counters, they work more comparatively. They perceive that. So there is a pay disparities compare the salaries and other
so
benefits.
The lower grades might have an issue with the equity, like the amount they work and what they receive. Yeah, okay.
Yes. And they also think that it is first is unfairness among the grades. They perceive that. And another disadvantage is compensation, other benefits. They think that they are undertreated like this.
Fine. Thank you very much. Since we are running short of time, I'll stop you there. So I'll quickly let again a very, I would say, analytical approach. That's exactly how I would expect you to tackle a question, the question paper as well. Very well done. Group number 2, about tailored and loosely coupled decision. Someone from group number 2?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually we have selected the IT industry. So we think that loosely coupled structures for the IT industry. So loosely coupled structures, as we observe that the IT industry, it has to be like flexible other than the other industries.
So what you're saying is the policy decision has to be more towards loosely coupled
coupled structures, because as we observe, so even that when we take the working hours base also, normally IT industry goes as flexi time. So so they adapt for the more flexibility. And also when we take the designation in the IT industry, so it's like software engineers, software architectures, team leads likewise. So it's less likely that the software engineers base pay would different from one another. So they based on the base pay, but they add different benefits as well to maintain that structure. And so we observe that the loosely coupled structures would more suit, so more advantageous.
So quickly, yeah, can you have you identified any disadvantages of loosely coupled structure for IT industry?
Disadvantages in the sense, sir, so for these when we take the designation as architecture, so they also like based on their with the experience and the stuff, so they expect kind of a difference between the pay. So for that category, we observe a kind of a disadvantage. But other than
so what you're saying is, while maintaining less levels and sort of a loosely coupled and flexible system is applicable, but for certain jobs, they expect a differentiation to be there.
Absolutely, sir. Yes.
Understood. Right. Thank you very much. Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Quickly, room number 4. So can you share your industry and some positives and negatives?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
We selected the manufacturing industry.
Okay.
So when it comes to the tailored manufacturing, recognition of specialization, like can reward employees who have specialized skills like technicians for the specific industry.
So what you're saying is in particular jobs, the loosely coupled would be better because you can reward them individually.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the industries, there are few technicians, few skillful technicians. So I think tailored.
So what you're saying is there might be certain skills that are highly valued for the organization. So if you have a very structured system, you can't reward them adequately. So what you're saying is to have a loosely coupled or flexible one, so you can recognize these specific skills and reward them extra. Okay.
And when attracting talents also, so we can hire compensate for specialized role. And employee engagement, when it comes to the employee engagement, this would increase the employee satisfaction.
Okay, quickly, any negatives you see for that?
Might be very costly for the workforce because specialized role could pay higher wages other than the normal employees, and there will be an skill imbalance also.
Understood. Right. Thank you very much. Right. So I think now you all are getting better at this analysis business, because at master's level, that is exactly what I expect, right? It might not be the final answer that you come up with. And all of the answers you gave, there have been certain points which were not very accurate, but I don't mind, because the way you look at it is what matters. At your level, maybe middle and upper level in your careers, that analytical skill is going to be critically important, right? So with that, we'll conclude today's session, and please have a look at those articles I have shared and the 2 notes I have shared, and we'll meet up next week for one of the very important lesson. Tell all your friends to come to the lecture, because the assignment is going to be based on what we discussed next week in the class. So if you miss that, you might miss important points which you need to do your assignment properly, because I think the assignment carries a lot of marks with the new arrangement. So you have to do it well. So please make sure that you inform your friends to attend the session next week. So with that, I'll wrap it up. Quickly, any questions or clarifications before we close? Okay, so we'll wrap it up. Have a good day. Stay safe. Let's meet up next week.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.